Hey y'all, welcome back to Chatting with Coach Amy. My BFF is back. I know y'all are so excited. Talk, say something. She's going, that's what she was doing.
Yeah, they can't see me when I'm not talking.
They can't see you when you're not talking. Oh my goch. So we have had a lot of togetherness.
Lots.
We go like
And
a
we're
month.
getting more.
We are getting more. We'll go like a month without laying eyes on each other, and then it's like 2 weeks together.
Good thing we like each other.
I know. But also I can say, which I don't think I did. I need a minute.
Y'all say hey
Oh,
to
there's
Jazz.
Hey, Jazzy. Can you hear me? No, probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, she's so
Yes.
cute. She's a miniature, never-ending story dog.
Yes, she is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, JJ, why don't you tell them? I mean, most people know what we have been up to, but let's talk a little bit about our trip to Nashville, the coaches retreat. You want to set it up?
Sure. So we had a coaches retreat organized by one of the other coaches in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, I think, 36 of us that got to attend. And so Amy and I took off on Thursday of last week, headed to Nashville because we wanted a day early. We wanted a day in the Nash by ourselves.
Yes.
So that was great. We got to just head up. We took the easy route going. The route home was a completely different story. But we got there. We went straight to the cafe because everything is on plan. It's like just the best, most relaxing. Yes. I mean, so I used to love caramel macchiatos from the Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, those are off plan. Even if you try to find, obviously. So even if you try at a different coffee house that might have certain, sugar-free sweeteners, if they're not the right kind of sweeteners or syrups, they're still off plan. And they had a caramel macchiato type drink on the menu at the cafe. So that was amazing. But it's just so nice to go in and just be safe in a little bubble. I can eat anything in this building.
Yes. And we had a celebrity spotting. Pearl's husband, Charlie, walked by, and it was everything in my power not to go, hi, Charlie, I'm Coach Amy. But I didn't.
We both restrained.
I'd have been like, okay, good for you.
I made sure to, make eye contact and smile.
And he grinned and nodded at us. Bless him.
So yes, we got to do that. That was wonderful. The service there, the girls, well, I guess
they're so precious.
Girls, but the girls that were behind the counter, waiting on us, they are just preciousness.
Absolutely.
And so it just makes your heart smile. It's so good. And
the people that they employ, I just want to say this because some people have a bad taste in their mouths about THM sometimes. And I just think you need to make some time to go to this cafe and see these people that they employ. Even at the cafe, because that's where the manufacturing center is. There's have a window, and it's like the little baby nursery. Like you can look in and see them making all these things, and they just smile and wave at you. Y'all, I'm just telling you. And I've had the opportunity, as Jennifer has, to see even more people behind the scenes. We'll talk more about that maybe. We might have to make a two-parter. But anyway, so I just want to shout out the THM. And I know like when you have an issue or something come up with a company, you kind of get a little hurt. So if you've ever had an issue with maybe shipping or you got such and such, or you're frustrated with the rules of the plan or something like that, I think you just need to take a little breath.
Yes.
Take a step back and consider what all they are doing right. And I would like to extend that also for us coaches, because we make mistakes. We're human. Some of y'all put us on these platforms, pedestals. Put us down on ground level with you because we get a lot right. And sometimes we do make mistakes, but those mistakes are what's pointed out. But these girls, bless their hearts, that are working at that cafe, they're young teenagers, young 20s or whatever. Sweet Breezy, she's 11 and looks like she's a supermodel. 26. I think she's 14. But anyway, they are so darling and just helpful. And I forgot, la la la, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it. And y'all have a wonderful day. And It's so sweet. Oh, they're just precious.
It's so sweet, and it's such a calm environment there when it's not all of us coaches at one time.
45, 50 of us in one room.
Yeah. But the typical experience there is just so calm and peaceful, and it's just truly, so if you're ever through there, Red and I had made a detour through there when we had made a trip to Nashville looking at a camper, and I was like, look, if you're going to make me do a turnaround trip to Nashville, we are going to plan it to where I can swing through.
For sure.
It was so nice. It was so nice. And it was fun to share that with him, to let him kind of see.
Yep.
So that was the beginning of Thursday. And then we did, you and I got to experience Nashville.
That was the best. It was epic for me.
It was wonderful. And I'm glad you got exactly what you wanted, because I got exactly what I wanted later. And it was wonderful. We started at Justin Timberlake's restaurant, the 1230 Club.
It was amazing.
It was so good. We ate on the honky tonk level, and I do not have her paper in front of me, but shout out to whoever was there last Thursday night, whatever night that was. She was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was so good. We had so much fun, great food. And then everybody get ready to clutch your pearls and cover your ears. Oh, Jamie and I went bar hopping.
We went bar hopping, never done it in my whole life, but we went to 2 whole bars for the live music. I wanted to experience the live music at a honky tonk. Now, for those of you who've never been to Nashville and you're like, a honky tonk, what? So a honky tonk is a bar that has live music and serves alcohol from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's what a honky tonk is. Okay, just so y'all know. I didn't know that. I had to Google it. But we had so much fun.
Yes. And you can be in that setting somewhere iconic like Nashville and enjoy and be on plan and not be like really partying.
Yeah, I'm 100 strong. I was not off plan.
Yeah. I text my mom. I'm like, for the first time ever, I can say I've been bar hopping at 45 years of age.
To 2 whole bars.
But we did. We asked our waiter, like for some good recommendations based on what we wanted.
Yeah, and to be safe. We wanted to be safe. And he was wonderful. He looked just like the head doctor man on New Amsterdam for all of you. In my mind, that's who he looked like. He was so nice.
For me,
and she had another one.
Yeah, Edward Norton as the Hulk. I mean, not as the Hulk, like as Edward Norton when he played the Hulk. The
actor.
And he actually said he had been told that before. So, but he was great and gave us some really good recommendations. And so we were able to see a really nice gift shop that Amy and I had seen on a previous trip. And then we were able to go to a couple of these places and sit back and enjoy some great acoustic music.
Amazing.
Yes, it was so wonderful, so fun. And yeah, that was Thursday night. But on Thursday night, we were both celebrating our coach anniversaries.
Yes.
We both, and it wasn't planned. It was kind of random when this happened. Amy's coach anniversary is September
16th.
And mine is September 27th. So when I signed up, I wasn't thinking, oh, let me get it in September so we can celebrate together. Because had I had that thought, I'd have done it on the 16th.
That's right. It would have been twinsies.
We would have, but I didn't think about it. But it just so happened that it did fall in the same month. But that goes back to not being able to see each other very often. We had to wait to celebrate.
Yep. Because I celebrated where were you? Probably it is. No, you were at the Grand Canyon.
Yes. I was at the Grand Canyon.
I was like, probably at Disney, but you weren't.
No, not this time. But yeah, so that was amazing. It was so fun to celebrate in an on-plan way, in something really unique and fun, and just us for just a little bit, because we were fixing to be inundated with all of the love and comrades and just everything for the next 4 days.
Yep.
I told my husband, I said, I don't think you understand how nonstop it is.
Yes.
Nonstop.
Sarah had talked about the schedule, because someone that's never been to the coaches retreat, Sarah Truitt, shout out to her. She's the mastermind and supreme organizer of this retreat. And she's been, that was her 4th one, because I've been 3 and there was one There wasn't one the year before I went because of COVID, and the year before was their first. Yeah, so her fourth one.
Yes.
Brilliant. Just amazing. I wouldn't want to do it. But people were kind of questioning the timeline and the schedule. And she was like, well, what you don't understand is you have to drive an hour almost anywhere that you go from where we are kind of centrally located in Brentwood area. And then you want that downtime to be able to connect and talk. It's not like you don't need it to be constantly scheduled, because you want to organically connect with these women who are doing the same thing as you. And I think for a long time, I am going to go here. I think for a long time, there's been such a air of competition that wasn't necessary. And I think there's a new day dawning for the coaches. And it is like, I seriously teared up multiple times. Just I'm very quiet at the coaches retreats until I'm asked a question, and then I'm like, but I love to sit back and watch and see and just observe. And it was beautiful. Like I'm just looking at, wherever we are, whatever room and setting. And I'm just like, look, so sweet and exciting.
It is very exciting, and it's so inspiring and encouraging. As a coach, it's like you see all these different levels. Some who have not coached anybody, like literally just passed their test and are just getting started. And, then you've got others who have been coaching really before the coaching program even existed. They were doing it in some form or fashion. So it's really cool to see that huge mix. And I do want to give a shout out to our two men that were there.
Yes.
There are two men that are coaches. One is the father to Sarah Truitt, who organized everything. Coach Derek, he's so precious. I love him dearly. And then Micah is married to one of the women coaches, and he's so cool. He's fun. I got to walk with him on one of our walks that we had to do. And so, I'm just this wonderful room of sisters, but now also two brothers.
Yeah. And whenever we were talking about them, maybe one of the last nights, I was like, and the end of my slide said, go get them, girls. I should have said, go get them, y'all. I'll fix that. If they ever ask me to speak again, I'll be sure to not be gender, specific on that.
That's right. I know that Mike
never occurred to me. I'm sure they didn't care, but
I'm sure they didn't. They are really, really
good sports about it.
Yeah. Really, really sweet men. So, it was great. It was a wonderful time, multiple days of different activities, things that encouraged us, things that challenged us, things that took us outside of our comfort zones. Yes, there was a 1920s murder mystery style dinner that I was super gung-ho about until I realized, oh, wait, we have to basically eat, and there's no lines. And then I was kind of freaking out.
Okay, so I had that emotion the whole time since I found out about it. Didn't want to do it. And people were so shocked. They're like, you're so outgoing. I'm like, in my own self? I want to be somebody else.
Yeah, no. My daughter got the acting gene in our family, not me.
No thanks.
So, but it turned out fine. It was still something that I don't know that I would ever volunteer for again, but it was so fun to see the different costumes, and some of these coaches I had never met. So to kind of see them, I'm looking in my head at Leah, to see them just dive into their character and just go all out. That was really fun, and it did break the ice. So kudos to Debbie and her team for getting that together and making some of us extremely uncomfortable. But you know what? Sometimes in the stretching,
and it was fun. I will admit it was fun. I would personally rather not ever do that again.
But remember, in the stretching, we have room for growth. So we can do hard things. Isn't that what you always say?
I just don't want no stretch marks, JJ.
Yes.
I'm just kidding.
Yes. So that was a little outside of our comfort zone, but it truly was, it was a fun experience, and like I said, you've got this group, you've got so many personalities. For some people, it was probably the highlight of their trip. Exactly. So I love that they tried to kind of
everybody's
things.
Positives. Excuse me.
I love that. I love that. And then we had a dinner with Pearl and Serene. We had just beautiful times together. We rented the conference room in the hotel for the whole time, so we could pop in and out. It was just really great. And then we had the teaching sessions, and Coach Amy got to teach, and then Ben
Johansson.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Ben presented some things with us. I need to go back and look at my notes from him because I took a whole page. But y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I text Amy. I went, yep, I'm not getting this. But I was steadily taking notes. You know how you just receive things differently from different styles of teaching? It just felt like he was going right over my
coaching
head.
Program.
Yeah. And right over my head. But like the people at my table, man, they were, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so I just kept taking my notes, and I've been pondering on some of the things. And so I can't wait to, now that I've had time to process, kind of read back over my notes and see what he did. So I love that there were different styles, because it was Amy and Ben and then Coach Sarah. And it was just something different from each one of them that I got. And yes,
and none of us knew, the three speakers, I will speak for us, none of us knew what the other was talking about. And, Chris just asked each of us to share, our head coach, Chris Honeycutt. And so I didn't question her at all. But in back of my head, I'm like, what if we all speak on the same thing? And I was like, well, you know what? That's what they need to hear then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always, even if we all talked about XYZ, it's going to be from each of our perspectives, which we are all totally different people. And so, but we did it, and God really worked it out. It was an amazing flow. Even in the order that we spoke. I said flow. So many of you were there and you're listening. God bless your hearts for supporting this podcast, but you'll get a kick out of that. Oh, little inside joke.
Yes. It was truly great to just kind of sit back and see. And, for some of us like myself, who's more of a part-time coach, and I feel, pretty comfortable with where I've decided to land, as I know I'm primarily a one-on-one coach, although, I've had, pop-ups of groups and different things like that. I'm primarily a one-on-one coach. So it's like, I feel like, oh, what am I going to get? And then you sit there and you're like, oh, I'm getting that and that and that. And so it was really good to just be in a space where it was very catered to Trim Healthy Mama. It wasn't just some outside business model thing. It was very much the heart of Trim Healthy, which I loved. Yeah. I loved. Yeah. So yes, and then we got to go and worship together. We got to have different lunches together and hikes and walks and all the things. Mm-hmm. All the things. Back to the cafe for a fun-filled day, very long day, but it was really good. We were there for 8 hours. Yes, it was a great time. We had a set apart time where people in the community could come and meet all of the coaches at once. Or if they had a particular coach they were really excited to see, we were all there together. And then we had another buffet with, we had that buffet dinner with Pearl and Serene, and just time to kind of talk to them. And it was just beautiful. It truly, truly was beautiful. I loved it all. And then we took 10 hours to get home.
Because we smart like that. It was incredible. And we found things we didn't know we were going to find.
Yes, it worked out great.
It did. It was fine. It was totally fine. That trip home was great. And JJ and I have now realized that we love to rock out to some music. And we also equally like and hate the same songs. So I was like, can we skip that? She's like, yeah. But our friendship is so precious, because if I said, you want to skip that? She was like, I'd really like to listen to it. I was like, okay, let's listen to it. It's fine. And then she's like, you know all the words. Why don't you like it? I'm like, I just don't like it, but I know all the words.
Looking at you, Leanne Rhymes. She's looking at you.
I don't really know. Hashtag, I don't that much.
It was great. And we got to rock
that
out
with dirt band. I can listen to them.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole different, older country just hits different.
I like it.
Yeah. I pretty much anything past early 2000s, and I don't even do it.
No.
So, but we also got to rock out with Coach Christina and Coach Leah, and that was awesome because
Christina probably thinks we're cray cray, but we had a great time.
Well, JJ's gonna drive. I am going to drive. I am not riding in your car. I'm going to drive. So we were blessed to be able to offer a ride to 2 other coaches and get a little extra time with them to just rock out. But I was like, y'all, my brain's going 90 to nothing. I need the tunes to drown it out. Yeah. And so we just rocked out to a 90s station, and it was fabulous. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good. Yes, we can do a part 2 to that because there's so much to unpack from that. Yeah. Oh, and then what I got because Amy said, what she wanted was the Thursday night, Justin Timberlake, honky tonk. What I wanted was hiking and seeing fall color. And we got to do that Friday morning before everybody else was landing and pulling into Nashville.
3 hour, I'm not going to call that a hike, a 3-mile walk. 3-mile walk.
Yes. 3-mile walk.
Radnor Park.
Radnor Lake. Yes. Radnor Park. It was a very developed path, but it wandered through the woods and around this lake. It was gorgeous.
Saw a bajillion chipmunks, which I've never seen in person. So that was exciting.
Yes.
And a little otter that we were certain was a snake. Nope. It was a sweet little otter you ever saw.
Yes. Coming across that pond, though, I mean, he was coming from so far, and both of us are
wiggling.
Yeah.
Like
both of us are
it was an otter.
We're a little visually challenged. So it was until he got right to the bank and dove down, we were like, what?
Oh, that was an otter.
But that was what I wanted. And then we also got to do that on Tuesday on the way home. We decided to drive the Trace. I'm still going to have a discussion with my friend who shared with me it would only add 20 to 30 minutes to our trip.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
The only thing I can think of is he gets on the Trace in Tennessee about an hour to an hour and a half lower than we do. That's what I think. I don't think he realized where we were when we got on the Trace. But either way, it was gorgeous.
We would have missed. I think we probably would have missed where we stopped.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes. Yes. I still have scrapes down my knees because JJ tried to go sliding down a waterfall.
I was very terrified. I think that was the most scared that I was the whole trip. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do if she gets hurt? What am I going to do?
It's okay. It was fun. I needed to show the backside of water.
You're so funny.
Disney, that reference. But it was great. But I was thinking, if you keep sliding, there's a 10-foot drop. But I didn't keep sliding. And it wasn't that difficult. It was just from the moisture and algae and things like that. The rocks were super slippery. I don't think I've told my mom that yet. So hopefully she won't hear this. But yeah, so it was.
You have time. This will air Monday.
Okay, good. I'll tell her this weekend. She'll see the Bobos today. Right. It was really great. It fed my soul in a way that I needed, because if you don't know the Natchez Trace, the speed limit is maximum 50 miles an hour. That's it. That's all you get. And that is not how JJ normally drives. And there's very, very, very little traffic. And it's the colors, especially up in the Tennessee section, were already changing. And it was amazing. Amazing.
And you're going to flip out, because next year I think we're going even later in October. So it's going to be even more gooder, as my daddy says.
Yes. Yes. What is that little gif with that little girl? And I think she's got like maybe cotton candy or something. That's going to be me next year. The colors change really weird down here because
everything's just dead here.
Yeah. This year, everything's dead. But typically it's like it comes a little later and it's like, oh, look how pretty. Boom. It's winter. So it fed my soul. So I appreciate you allowing that.
It was amazing. Don't think I was hurting.
Yeah. It was, we had a picnic lunch by a creek with a little waterfall, and because we pack our foods because we're on plan Trim Healthy Mamas. And yeah, it was fabulous.
So that brings me exactly to where I wanted to be. I wanted to talk about how we planned our food. So JJ and I, we traveled together, we roomed together. And so we didn't necessarily coordinate our food, but she was like, I need to know what you're doing. And so within seconds, I wrote up a little plan. And
similar to this
for our,
see if I get the light.
bit. No, it's not working. Well, there you go, a little bit.
A little bit.
You got to talk though.
Oh, a little bit. It's a little bit. It's basically you just break it down by days. I'm in front of a window, so sorry. Anyway, you just do however many days. This is for this coming weekend, not last weekend. But then you just know what you have. Like, I need an E. I can't get the light right. You need an E. You need an S. And then it was just easy. And I knew she had already done that, and my brain was done. I was just done. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to do it. I was like this close to just going, forget it. I'm staying home in bed. My brain is done. So I went, hey, I know you already have this. Send it to me. And she did not already have it, but in seconds she got it. She whipped it out. And so I just looked at her list and I went, okay, she's doing an E. I'll do an E that morning. So we kind of coordinated our fuelings, but not necessarily. Oh, there it is. You do have it.
There we go.
Okay.
I can't read it. So yeah. Thursday, we ate at home. We both had a sandwich in the vehicle while we were driving up there. And then we had our S snack at the cafe. And then we had our crossy at Justin Timberlake's Honky Tonk. And then I put alcohols because we did have a few on pan drinks, but we won't digress. I don't want to offend anyone. And then Friday, we had breakfast in our room, which I had an S. And I think I did. Maybe I had an E. I think I ended up actually having an E. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. And then we had another picnic hiking. We did the walk, and then we went to a park near our hotel and had a little picnic, and it was amazing.
Yes.
Then JJ challenged me to the monkey bars, which I did.
She did. There's video evidence.
I was a little concerned that I was not going to be able to do it. I was really proud. I've never really done that before. So I was very proud of myself. Then I had a Fuel Pool Collagen coffee, and then we had an S dinner because I knew what I had ordered. That was included in our trip. And then Saturday morning, I had an E, which was Casey's Quinoa Cherry Bowl. And then we went out for lunch with a sweet coaching admin friend, Coach Krista, who is I coach clients too, and she's one of my coaching clients. So it was so sweet to spend time with her like that. And her and JJ have a special relationship too. So I had a coffee there at, what was the name of that place?
Taziki's.
Oh yes, Taziki's. So good. I had another Fuel Pool Collagen coffee, and then we had our murder mystery dinner, which I think I had an S.
Yes, I fixed your plate. It was an S.
Yes, God love her. She fixed my plate. So all weekend, my boys are playing baseball, like 9,000 games, and I'm watching it. There's an app called Game Changer. And so I was able to see it. Well, that moment during the murder mystery, I was like, he had never pitched before in a game, and she just looked at me and she went, I'm gonna go fix your plate. And she did, like, it was no question. I didn't have to ask her. So high five, BFF. Thank you. And so her and my other friend that was next to me, she brought me the soup, and it was so sweet. So I got to, you can see the video on Game Changer. So I literally got to watch him pitch his first game, which was wonderful for my mama heart. And then the next morning I had another E breakfast. And I'm pretty sure it was a crossover at the Hilltop, because you're just kind of scrounging for different things. I'm pretty sure I had a crossover. Then I did not have what I planned. I had a deep S. I was having some stomach pains. And so I decided a deep S would probably, love on my stomach and moisturize it and all the things that I needed. I'd had a whole lot of dairy, and I'm not used to that. So anyway, I had a deep S supper right before my live with my buds and blooms. And then I think I had some nuts and chocolate after that in the conference room.
Yeah, that was
and
when
then
we
Monday, were Monday we had more. That was when we were leaving. Yeah, so we had biscuits. No, Monday was not when we were leaving.
Monday was the all day at the cafe.
Yep. Oh, I had eggs and sausage from the lobby. So I did have that, and then I had an E-lunch at the cafe. What did you get for lunch at the cafe? Do you remember?
Oh, I wanted an E because I knew we would not be having it. I didn't have an E breakfast. I wasn't thinking that through. And that morning, I really didn't want to eat anything. And so it ended up being an S breakfast because I knew I needed to eat. And that's just what appealed to me in the moment. And then I thought as I got to the cafe, oh no, I know tonight's going to be probably an S. I need an E. So they had a Fuel Pool taco soup that you could turn into an S, but I didn't. I kept it Fuel Pool, and then I got the side of sweet potatoes to have that good healthy carb. So I turned that into an E that way, and it was really good.
Good. I got the sandwich with sweet potato fries, and I had a side salad that I didn't really like because I chose a dressing. I was not lip thinking, right? I just wasn't. Then I had a snack, and I had the Autumn's peanut butter bars, maybe is what it was. They were so good. Oh, that's why I got that. And then I had a supper, had that catered dinner. It was the chicken tenders, and I had a little small piece of the lasagna because it is so good, and then salad. I didn't get dessert. I was so full. I just didn't need anything else.
I didn't either. Who am I? I didn't either. Now, Coach Christina had a piece of dessert that I had never tried before. And when I tell you, I took a pinch, like just the tiny, because I really I was like, I don't want it. I don't want to eat it. Like I didn't even want to bite, but I was really curious to know for the next time, because, these treats are not super cheap. They are, it's such a wonderful opportunity to have them, and they're very well worth the price, but you want to know if you're going to like it.
Right.
So I took the tiniest little pinch just to get the flavor of that cake. But I'm like, who am I? It had been a wonderful day. I was completely nourished and just satisfied with my day. I didn't need it.
So good. I didn't need. And then Tuesday we set out, but we purchased, we discussed having an S biscuit, purchasing from the thing. And so I was like, JJ, do you want in the morning just to have an S biscuit from the cafe? We can have it at the hotel. She was like, yeah. So I bought her and myself an S biscuit. And then we get to the room and there's 3 S biscuits. She had got her own. So we had 1.5 we shared. So that's what we had for breakfast Tuesday morning before we set out. And then we had another one of our epic picnic lunches of a sandwich. And it was amazing. We were just pulling. I'm like, I don't have enough ham for my sandwich. She was like, oh, I have some. And then I'm like, do you want to share this bag of popcorners? Yes, I do. Do you have any freshies? Yes. And so we were just going back and forth. It was great. So good.
Making it work. It was so good. It was just so calm and peaceful. And I really did enjoy the ride back. I will figure out how to incorporate that again without it taking us 10 hours. Now, we probably added a solid hour.
Oh, yeah.
With our stops that were so worth it.
We
probably added an hour, but that's still 9 hours on the road when I thought it was going to take us 7 to 7.5 with stops. So, but we did stop more places just because it was such a cool experience for both of us, because we were like, we're going, and we were like waiting for the next bathroom stop. And it says, Meriwether Lewis. And she went, of Lewis and Clark? And I went, apparently. So we stopped, and we got to have a little history stop, and we both learned that Meriwether Lewis was the governor of the Northern Louisiana Territory. Like, hello. It was really just an epic day. It was epic.
So the waterfall, because a lot of people have asked where the waterfall, it is Fall Hollow Waterfall Overlook on the Natchez Trace. So that's what that's called. I looked it up on my pictures, and that's fun. And then the little waterfall, hold on, let me swipe.
Eagle Creek.
Oh wait, I'm hitting the wrong button. It was, sorry you guys, Swan.
Was it? I thought it was about Eagle.
It's not labeled. Maybe it is.
Hang on.
Because I took that picture of you.
Let me go see. Hang on, because she took it with my phone.
It's not on the map.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. I'm close. Here I am. Let me see if I can read it, because she didn't really zoom in. Oh, no, you took it at Fall Hollow.
Oh, I did? Okay. I don't know where the other one was, but it was between Fall Hollow and the Meriwether Lewis.
Did you go live at lunch, or did you just take a video?
I did a video.
Choose to video. So I said the name of it there. So whenever you use that,
I will.
Boom.
It's on the list of 900,000 things I need to do. But anyway, I know. And then we saw the Meriwether Lewis. I was like, Lewis and Clark, oh my gosh. So we got to see where he was buried and look at his memorial. We saw the house that he actually passed away in mysteriously. And then we saw the Trail of Tears and different things like that as we went on. It was just incredible. So any of you guys that, we need a vacation for spring. And we're seriously considering it. And I mean, we can go to the cafe. So we are very familiar with the area, so it's no problem. But guys, it was just incredible. So I highly recommend just visiting that area as a trim healthy mama and as an American, and seeing all of the history. It's so rich in history. The War of 1812, the troops walked the Natchez Trace all the way to Natchez, which is a town she and I love too.
Yes.
Actually, 2 years ago, she and I were there, celebrating her new business, and just she was helping me plan mine and all of that. So
that's where we actually picked my coach's name, sitting there in our
we
hotel
sure
room
did.
in Natchez. Yep.
We did.
Yep. We kept bouncing ideas and finally settled on Simply Nourished.
Simply Nourished. Yep.
Mhm.
So fun.
Yep.
I love doing that. I love naming things and creating. That's my favorite.
Good, because creativity is not my strong suit.
Actually, Coach Michelle that I'm helping, we got, I don't know if she's still settled on it, but we were brainstorming new names, and I blurted one out that she was like, that's it. I'm not going to spoil it. That's her.
No, that's hers. I can't wait to hear.
It was very exciting to be a part of that with her. So we made our way. I think, what did we have for a snack? Did we do collagen coffee? I don't know what we did.
Oh, no. You had that pumpkin chocolate chippy thing, and
yeah.
I had a yogurt.
We had yogurt. It was yogurt in the car while we were driving. Of course, I had to climb all the way to the back to get something, but she's a safe driver, and it's fine. There was enough crap in that car. I don't think I'd have got hurt.
You'd have been cushioned in all directions.
Yes. And then we still needed supper, and we stopped, and the only fast food we had the whole trip was at the last spot. And we got a bunless burger from Wendy's, and they sold our salad out from under us, but it was okay. We just went with it. We weren't starved. It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah, we had picked the bunless burgers and the Caesar salad, and we were going to split the Caesar salad because we do that. We'll share food. It's okay.
We shared our Lord's Supper
elements,
wine, our element, our grape juice.
Yes. Yes. Well, so the Hilltop was so gracious to invite the coaches in because, you're away from your home congregations. And so it's nice to know you have a safe place to go when you're traveling without having to research that. And they partake of the Lord's Supper every week, and they're passing. And I was like, okay, it looked like they were going to run out. But just like with the fishes and loaves, God provides, and they just kept bringing more and more out from the back. But at the time we weren't sure. So I'm like, we'll share. And we did. We broke bread together.
Literally.
And
shared the juice.
Yes. But it was a precious time to be with fellow believers and to have that time of worship. So it was great. It was great.
So good. Okay, I think we ought to wrap up the coaches retreat. Is there anything else you would like to say?
I think it was great. I'm already looking forward to next year. Sarah and I have been bouncing ideas back and forth about some things, so I'm really excited about it.
You're such a good planner, organizer, being in charge person.
I just like to help.
And I'm just like, I'll sit back and watch y'all work. Oh, it's so fun. Mindy brought up the word camaraderie, and I think that is a perfect word to sum up what was happening. And you have some trim healthy mamas that they find their coach and they stay with her, and then you have some that go from coach to coach, and neither of those groups of people are doing wrong, because that is just like with the different messages that were brought from Sarah, myself, and Ben. You also have people that need to hear the same thing from different people. And one of my clients had shared how multiple coaches had inspired her journey, and I was able to share that from her perspective, and I think it was really helpful for a lot of people. And I have just seen the fire that was lit under some that were not sure if they wanted to continue coaching or if that was even what they were supposed to do. And I just want to encourage any coaches that are listening now, or anybody, whatever your current spot is in your life, coach or not a coach, THM or not, just being a mom, whatever it is, but there are people that need you. And, I was able to share some things in a video too recently. And, women I think, are targeted a lot by the enemy because of the level of influence that we can have, and men too, but we're girls here. We're talking about us. Okay. We're talking about us. But I think women are attacked spiritually so often because of the sphere of influence that we have, whether it's our kids or students, our coworkers, our spouse, with us as coaches, the Trim Healthy Mamas, random people that fall into our pages somehow, and they're like, what am I doing here? But we have that level of influence. And, I talk about so much more than food. Jennifer talks about so much more than traveling. Coach Amanda talks about so much more than being pregnant as a Trim Healthy Mama. Coach Charlotte talks about so much more than exercise. Like we are our whole person, and we share that, but it comes each from a different perspective. And so if whatever you're doing with Trim Healthy needs a boost, I really encourage you to try a coach, even if you're just following or you are going to pay for their services. But if the coach that you're with, if you're not getting what you need, maybe you need a different perspective. And so I just want to encourage everybody out there that if you're struggling and you're not reaching the goals or the milestones that you think you should be, why don't you try a little change? Because if you are doing the same thing over and over with no change in result, that's insanity. So we might need to change something. So I just want to encourage that to everybody.
Yeah. And like Coach Sarah shared with us, just intending to do something is not enough. Yeah. You actually have to do it. You have to take that first step. Your intentions are great. And I do the same thing. You can live in those intentions and actually feel like you're being productive because you're wasting so much brain space on it. But until you actually put action behind that intention, you're not doing anything.
And that's anything in your life. Yes.
Anything you're doing. So
I do struggle with that particular thing with my real person in real in life relationships. And that's something I have to really be intentional about. And I know that's one of my failures, I guess you'd say, in that little category. So that's something I have to be very intentional about because I live virtually. Like my business is virtual. And so I'm like, how did you not know that? I posted about it. Well, they might not have seen it on the Facebook, whatever. You went to Nashville? What? I'm like, where have you been? But, that's just a silly illustration. But anyway, thank you so much for talking. We will have a part 2 to talk about what we're about to do today. And also, we're going to talk about our experiences with the essential aminos, which is the new hot product coming out of Trim Healthy. And I guess that's it. You want to tell them bye?
I will tell them bye. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.